Hello, today is Sunday, the 23rd of October, and within this video I want to go over the Palladium technical analysis as well as the ratio of silver to Palladium. But before we do that, what I want to do is I want to talk about Fibonacci confirmation. And to do that, we'll use these lines, which can represent Fibonacci variables of 38 and 61%. So imagine a market does something like this. It was in a big downtrend. You're at the 38.2, and then you get above it here. A lot of times it'll just burst to the next Fibonacci mark, and then as long as you don't retrace too much, you're most likely going to break above it. Now for confirmation, what I need to see happen is I need to see on an upside for it to break this upper red line and just do something like this, where after you break above this, you are able to hold above that line. And then once you hold it for a while, to me, that gives me Fibonacci confirmation. Now let's move on to Palladium. And within this chart, we have a top here at around 1094 and a bottom at 144. We have 8 different Fibonacci lines, the 38.2 and the 61.8%. Now the ones above it represent a 76.4%, an 85.4, and a 90.9%. And then this is the polar opposite of those numbers. So 1 subtract 76.4 is 23.6, 85.4 would be 14.6, and 90.9, the difference would be 9.9%. But the significant thing is, are we seeing confirmation that the market is going to be going to its previous top of 1094? Well, you hit the top and you hit this bottom. Since this period happens, this range, it has yet to have either taken out the high of 1094, nor it has taken out the bottom of 144. When it first topped in here, it topped at that 38.2% retracement and then came back down to this major level of support that was a previous level of resistance back in the 1980s and 1990s. And then when it got above it the second time, it burst right up to the second Fibonacci level, but it didn't find support here. So this might have cost a lot of people thinking, okay, now the market's at about 300 and change, and it should be an area where it goes up. And it didn't, and it went right back down again to its previous major support line that has now been tested on 3 different occasions. Since that point, it really had no problems getting by this line, and it's gotten above here. So as I was stating within confirmation, I need to see it hold nicely above this level. Big green candle in here, which was then followed with 2 sideways candles, showing that sellers at these higher prices were not aggressive enough to really bring the market down lower. Yes, we've had this red candle in here, but to me, that is enough to confirm that the odds are very likely that we will retest the 1094 level. Again, normally when you confirm these levels, the odds are extremely high that if you come back down to the previous Fibonacci level here, roughly around 525 or exactly at 504 and a quarter, then the chances that it finds support at that level is extremely high. All right, now let's move on to the ratio. And the ratio is going to be that for 100 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of palladium. And this goes back to 1990. Sorry for the numbers being very crunched up, but if you're looking for the year below, you should be able to see when any of these moves occurred. Now the Fibonacci that I have within here is this low of 0.42 and this high of 6.99, or that of 7 even. Now this should say 14.6, but that is the area of the next Fibonacci line. You have the 23.6 and the 38.2% retracement. There has not been a test of the 38.2, and there doesn't have to be a test of the 38.2, at least not yet. And the Fibonacci never started until here. So even though it was finding support at this level, that wasn't the significant line for Fibonacci because we didn't know this top existed. But it has managed to come back down to this Fibonacci line, break above this level in here. Therefore, what I would be expecting with this is if it comes back up to the 7 level, like in here, and really holds 541, 464 nice as support, that the odds are that it's really going to burst a lot higher and continue this upward trend. If this market goes higher, that means silver is outperforming palladium. And if the market goes lower, that means palladium is outperforming silver. In 2000, that big high that we've seen for palladium over $1,000 an ounce, well, that was around the same location of time where silver was at its bottom, which is why the ratio was absurd as it was back then. So therefore, if it does manage to keep going higher, then what would the top happen to be? Is there any Fibonacci calculation to find that top? And if you want to know what it is, well, then that's your homework. If this 360 level is to become the 38.2%, which means this line within higher price action would move to 360, then where would the top happen to be? And the answer for that is x divided by 0.42 to the power of 0.61, which is equal to 360. Therefore, if you want to know what it is, there is your homework. And finally, we'll take a look at the performance for silver and palladium for the year. Silver is colored in red, palladium colored in blue. And it's pretty much been a break-even month break-even year for that of silver. Silver closed the year of 2010 at roughly around $30 per ounce. And well, that's where we are right now, is roughly at around $30 per ounce, which is why it has gained around 0% for the year, where palladium is down over 20%. And when the market rallied earlier this year, palladium had nothing to do with this rally. When silver sold off, palladium had nothing to do with the sell-off. And then silver would rage through time, and well, palladium liked that because that's what it was been doing all year long anyway. And then here, well, palladium joined the party in the fall with silver, but overall, silver, of course, has outperformed that of palladium. Both precious metals are very good assets for real physical use. Palladium is that of Cadillac converters, and silver just has an enormous amount of uses. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a great day.